Congratulations, you finally made it to 4 p.m. You know what that means. Happy hour. It's time to kick back, relax, and dive into the world of sports with the Young and Norvelle Show. Whether you're catching up on the latest scores, analyzing the big plays, or gearing up for tonight's games, we've got you covered. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's talk sports. Here they are, Patrick Young and Terry Norvelle.
And there is the kickoff, the Hump Day Edition kickoff, the Young and Norvelle Show, off and running on a hot Wednesday here, coming to you live from the Action Sports Jacks studios. A lot to get to today. Patrick Young hopefully will join us momentarily. We'll find that out here soon, as Pat has a lot of stuff going on, obviously, this summer. A lot of stuff going on with his foundation. Big event coming up on Sunday, among other things. Hope to hear from Patrick Young here in a little bit. Brent Beaird checks in about 5:30, and, of course, Wednesday around 5 o'clock, we'll talk some sports medicine, some injuries, some rehab, things like that, as we do every Wednesday with our Southeast Orthopedic Specialist sports medicine discussion with Dr. Aaron Bates. Now, without further ado, let's get right back into some of the big topics today as we welcome Casey Kurtz, producer extraordinaire, NBA Draft Night. Casey, not normally a big deal around our programs, Florida State, Georgia, Miami. But we're going to have a couple players taken in the first round. Asa Newell from Georgia, of all places. Mike White will have another first-round draft pick to see if he can screw up or has screwed up. And all indications, Casey, have Walter Clayton going in late in the first round.
Yeah, he should.
I think it could be a big night for Florida in terms of exposure. And when you're a program of Florida's basketball stature, they're not a historic blue blood. They are starting to knock on modern blue blood. I mean, since 2000. I mean, we're going back 25 years now, right? I mean, we're 25 years into the century. It's a pretty good chunk of time. Mm-hmm. Florida's got 3 national titles. There are not a lot of programs that have 3 national titles. And, I mean, we're not talking 3 in 6 years. I mean, we're talking 25 years. That's a pretty good footprint, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's
bunch of Elite
better
Eights,
than most.
A bunch of Final Fours in there, a bunch of Elite Eights in there, and not a bunch of superstar players in the league, but they've had their share.
They have.
They had 1 year with 3 top 10 picks. I think Brad Beal was a first round pick. Well, obviously,
he was a lottery pick.
Horford, Noah, Corey Brewer went in the top 9. Mm-hmm. So there's 3 in the first round, that one draft. As you said, Bradley Beal. David Lee might have been a second-rounder.
I'm looking it up.
Mike Miller might have been a second-rounder. They've had a pretty good amount of draft choices. And the NBA only has 2 rounds, right?
Correct, yeah.
Two-round draft. So while you're looking that up, why I say it might be a good night for exposure. Florida's basketball program, all the positive exposure you get only can help. Only can help. It doesn't necessarily help Kentucky tonight and all the years that John Calipari was in the green room with 1,000 first-round picks, and North Carolina and Indiana and Duke. I think it does help Florida. I really do. Anything on those draft picks?
Yeah, a whole bunch, some of which you have said, but first rounders in the history of the University of Florida. You got Neil Walk.
Yeah, I remember him way back 60, 70, somewhere around there.
Dwayne
Shinsis.
Yep.
7'2" guy, never lived up to his accolades. Decent college player.
White Chocolate.
A White Chocolate. Yeah, we'll give him to Florida and Marshall.
Sure. Donnell Harvey.
Donnell Harvey. Incredibly gifted athlete. Rough around the edges basketball player. Didn't do a whole lot. Good college player. Left too early.
Mike Miller.
Mike Miller. Mike Miller might have been Rookie of the Year 1 year. He had a good, nice.
He was the Rookie of the Year.
He was a hell of a college player. Big. At the time, I think he was Florida's biggest recruit ever. He was a big recruit, 5-star recruit.
Yep, 2-time champion, 6th man, Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, Rookie of the Year. Had
5th overall pick.
Really nice. I would say Mike Miller, second most accomplished NBA player in Gator history, behind who you're about to mention here in a minute, Al Horford.
Yeah, a couple away. David Lee.
What round?
First.
First.
Everybody I'm telling you is a first rounder.
All first rounders. Okay.
As you mentioned, Corey Brewer, Al Horford, and Joakim Noah.
Yeah, Noah.
Picks 3, 7, and 9.
Noah was Defensive Player of the Year 1 year.
He was.
Horford has put in a hell of a career.
Horford, 5-time All-Star, a champion, all-defensive team a couple times. So.
A really long career. Corey Brewer's biggest problem, I think, he bounced from team to team to team. He never lit anywhere, I don't think.
Yeah, lots of teams. Mo Spates.
Corey Spates was a nice post player, and I think he made a few dollars in the NBA.
Made some dollars.
Hung around, as an 8th or 9th guy.
Yep, made some dollars for sure. Bradley Beal, as mentioned, a lottery pick.
Yeah.
Trey Mann.
You forget about Trey Mann.
You do forget about Trey Mann.
Forget about Trey Mann.
And those are your first rounders.
Wow. We think we'll add Clayton tonight. The reason I think it could be a big exposure night tonight, well, number one, Clayton's going to go, I think. So when the picks start getting to, 15, I think Clayton's name starts popping up. I think the announcers obviously filling time. Hey, don't forget the guy that led Florida to the national title. He's still on the board. Hey, if you need an outside shooter, Clayton, boom, there come the highlights. And not that Florida hasn't had first-round picks that you just rattled off, and even 3 in the top 9. That was almost 20 years ago, though.
Yes, it was.
The NBA was nowhere near. The NBA was 20 years ago was coming. It was still in the Jordan malaise, right? That Jordan's gone malaise. Can the league survive? The NBA's strong now, isn't it? It's gotten a second or third win since Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not downplaying Kobe and LeBron and these guys, but you know what I mean.
I do.
It feels like the NBA is in an upswing. It's getting covered more. I think the fan base is bigger than it's been in a while. So tonight, I expect Clayton's name to get Clayton and the University of Florida to get a lot of coverage. I think Clayton goes in the 20s.
By the way, to your point, it's like the NFL draft where when you have a guy that played at a big program that's picked later, you have highlights of that guy. You're just, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like there'll be some guys picked before Walter Clayton that they will not have highlights, like a package like they will have for Walter Clayton. When Walter Clayton gets picked, they got a lot of stuff to roll from.
Oh, my God. They just roll tape from March Madness. Any game, March Madness, roll tape. So Clayton, I think, will get Florida a lot of publicity tonight, particularly when the picks get around 15. Clayton's name will pop up. The Gator, anybody who needs outside shooting. He measured at 6'2", barefoot. I saw a bunch of lists today with barefoot measurement. That's a little small, but he was. We knew he wasn't coming in at 6'5".
No.
And a rebounding, a post-up guy.
Yeah, that's not him.
He's quick, he can blow by you, and he can shoot the lights out. There's room for somebody like that in the
100%.
in the outside shooting game that we have. A couple more spinoffs that I think will help Gator basketball, and it'll start tonight in terms of exposure. The national title. When Clayton's name comes up, the national title is going to get mentioned a million times. He doesn't just make shots, he made big shots. Florida, Elite Eight. Florida, Final Four. Florida, National Championship game. Gator. I think all that's great. I also think that at some point tonight, Alex Condon's name will get mentioned a little bit. He had a lot of help on that team. They had a big guy almost come out. Keep an eye on this guy next year. And speaking of next year, Casey, I don't know if those picks that you went over, I don't know if they had years by them. I'm doing this off the top of my head. But I don't think Florida basketball, Gator basketball, has ever had back-to-back years with a first-round pick. And I think they'll do this next year. I think Clayton this year, Condon next year. I think that's a big feather in the cap for a program trying to grow.
So they did once.
Once?
2007, not surprising, 2007 to 2008 because Mo Spates was
Most
2008.
Spates.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's, it counts, but it's a stretch.
But outside, after that, they do not have one. And for the last two, Bradley Beal and Trey Mann, they went 10 years.
Yeah.
Beal was 12, Trey Mann was 21.
And again, Spates counts.
Yeah, for sure.
That counts, but he was a journeyman. I think there may be a little talk tonight that, hey, this Florida team, they may put a couple because I think Condon will go first round next year, right? Condon will go first round. So they'll definitely go back-to-back years, I think. If Clayton goes tonight, Condon, I'm almost...
Well, Boogie Flan could come out. Boogie Flan might have been a first-rounder this year if he came
point.
out.
Forgot all about Boogie. Boogie Fever. Boogie Fever comes out.
Boogie Nights.
If he comes out, he had a good year.
Correct. Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm not so sure Thomas Houck can't maybe play his way into the 25th pick of next year.
Nah, if he starts hitting some shots at a higher consistency level, then
he takes that. if he and you're spot on, I think. If Houck takes that 3-point shot of his, which is not bad, particularly for a 6'9" guy, he bumps that up 4 to 5%. You know, he's in the mid to high 30s, 30%, not 30, but at 37, 38. Look out! Look how he could go. Real good exposure, I think, tonight. And then, frankly, I think the closer we get, and I've started to see some now. We know who's coming out and who's not coming out, obviously.
Yeah.
So Lenardi had his bracketology way too early. Bracketology.
Really?
He is now, just came out of Niners.
June.
Yeah, and he's having fun. Way too early, it's called bracketology. And maybe his lead story was with Condon coming back, he's moved Florida to the 1 line.
It's a good call.
So Florida's going, the Gators now, and I've been kind of bitching a little bit. Man, they don't get enough credit. They probably should be ranked number 1. Doesn't matter. They're now, from everything, once Condon came back, I don't think anybody will have the Gators outside of their top 5 preseason. And I've seen them as high as 2. People love Purdue. People love Houston again. They're going to get their love. Lenardi, how about this? I know we're a long way away, but we're talking basketball because of the NBA draft tonight, and it's pertinent with some of our local guys. Lenardi had them a 1 now, opening up in the D.C. region, which isn't terrible, but the D.C. region, they've got Florida going to the sub-region. You know, you go to your first 2 before you go to the big region. Tampa. Thank you very much. That would be a beautiful draw.
Yep.
I mean, you talk about Gator country.
Oh, yeah.
And good for Florida. They deserve that. I mean, that is a spinoff, a knockoff of what Duke, North Carolina have had for decades. One of those guys always opens up in Greenville.
Oh, the Gators had a terrible draw last year.
Or Greensboro, I should say.
Yeah.
Greensboro.
It could not have been worse for the Gators.
Oh, yeah,
last year.
I didn't like it. Didn't like it at all, right?
San Francisco. What?
Yeah, didn't like it at all. They were the 4 of the 1, right? I think they were the 4
of the 1. You're
the
correct.
4 of the 1. Yeah, I hated that.
Yeah, it was terrible.
I hated that. They had to grind through that. Yeah, but Lenardi's got them 1. I don't know if he had 1, 2, 3, 4, but he had them on the 1 line, going to the Washington D.C. region. But of course, you break that up into 2 first 2 round sites, and gosh, Florida and Tampa. I mean,
perfect.
I know it's way early, but if that held, that means they've all but moved right into the Sweet 16.
You would
right?
think so.
I mean, if you go to Tampa as the 1, you're playing a 16. And then, obviously you get the 8-9, which is that still a weird little bugaboo of a 16 seed breakdown where, gosh, 8-9 winner seems like a tough second round for the 1.
Yeah.
It's always been that way. I get it.
Yeah, can't really do a lowest seed type thing.
You can't really because, you want to go one using a 16 quad, one quad 16. The 1 goes, let's say, up high. The 2 goes down low. The 3, so you get going like that, and then it numerically it just kind of works out. But that 8-9 can be dicey.
Yeah.
Well, hell,
no question.
What did Florida catch? UConn?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they caught defending national champ UConn.
They did. That's exactly who they caught.
Yes.
Sketchy.
So they went Norfolk State, defending national champ UConn, Maryland, I think.
They did play. They almost lost to Maryland.
Playing their best ball of the year, by the way. And Derek Queen, that Queen guy will have his name called in the top 10.
Yep.
Then they caught, was it Texas Tech?
Texas Tech, they almost lost as well.
Who, speaking of a recent power, I mean, the last 10, 12 years, Tech's been a problem.
Texas Tech was the game they lost, and then out of nowhere.
And then, Auburn. They caught Auburn at 27-3, by the way. And then that got them into maybe the toughest rock fight team you could find in the tournament last year was Houston.
They earned it.
Man, you can't lie about that.
No doubt about it.
You can't lie about that. How about Mike White? He gets another first-rounder.
Yeah.
Asa Newell's a nice player.
He is good.
One and done. Did White? Yeah, White had Anthony Edwards.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Right? Yeah.
I mean, these are mega 5 stars that somehow Mike White, way before money, I think, way before crazy money, I think.
Sure.
Who did he have at Florida? Did he have Beal?
No,
he may have.
Feels right.
Gosh. And he absolutely killed Andrew Nimhard's game.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
And Nimhard, I guess, was what, a second-round pick? Or free?
Yes.
Either second or free agent. My God. Thank God Andrew Nimhard got away from Mike White.
Worked out well for him.
Woo! Woo! Should be a real good night.
He did not have Beal.
He did not quite have Beal. So Donovan had Beal.
Donovan had Beal.
Yeah. That makes,
Mike White had Trey Mann. So that's his first.
Right. Gosh darn.
And then Anthony Edwards and now Asa Newell.
God! God! A terribly nice guy, everybody says, but my goodness gracious.
Yeah, the Anthony Edwards one is still confusing.
How does he
to
not?
Everybody.
How did Mike White, with Trey Mann at Florida, Anthony Edwards at Georgia, and Asa Newell, all 5 stars? I mean, high 5 stars. How could he not coax another 2 decent guys?
I know.
To on each of those teams?
They ran out of money.
I guess. Man.
Well, now I guess they wouldn't have ran out of money, but with Edwards, they probably ran out of money.
Yeah.
Because why in the world would Anthony Edwards go to Georgia?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Georgia kid and all, and I get all that, but my God, North Carolina, and I think he's an Atlanta kid.
yeah, I think so.
Chapel Hill's not far away. You know, Kentucky on a plane. I mean, these are big programs he could go to, and they go to Georgia.
I'd argue with you that Georgia Tech might be better.
Yeah.
Get the exposure
Yeah.
in the ACC at least.
Here's how whacked out Georgia basketball has been over the years. Well, we named all those good guys. We could go a little deeper, and most people, Georgia made the Final Four.
I did not.
Georgia in '83 made the Final Four. I think they made they made the Final Four in the, I think it was the Jim Valvano shot year. Yeah, Georgia. And not everybody, a lot of people, if you stopped 100 Georgia fans out on the street, or just college fans, sports fans like us, and you said, Georgia basketball went to the Final Four one year. Oh, yeah, Dominic Wilkins. Dominic Wilkins year. No, that was the year after he left. How about that? They go to the Final Four. That's a lot like the most recent Tennessee football national title. Remember Tennessee won it in the 90s? They won it in the 90s? Oh, yeah, Peyton Manning. No. That was T. Martin. That was the year after Peyton Manning left. Most people would say Peyton Manning, though, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, 4 years, didn't win the title. The year he leaves, T. Martin wins it.
How about that?
And didn't they beat FSU? I think they beat FSU
Sounds right.
that year. That was the first year of it was the Bowl Alliance way back then. And then Bowl Coalition, Bowl Alliance. Things changed.
By the way, Georgia has had 8 first-rounders in basketball.
Oh, are you serious? Do you got the list?
Asa Newell will be 9 probably tonight.
Sure.
You mentioned Dominique Wilkins.
Dominique.
Alec Kessler.
Remember him? Good college player.
Jermaine Jones.
Tall kid, I think.
Jarvis Hayes.
Jarvis Hayes was a good college guy. I think he had a cup of coffee or two in the NBA.
Vern Fleming.
Vern Fleming was he was the star of that Final Four team. Good guard. Played in the NBA a long time.
Anthony Edwards. And Kentavious
Caldwell Pope.
Kentavious Caldwell Pope.
Yeah,
and then Willie Anderson.
Wow. I think he had an Anderson brother that went to Auburn, and both of those brothers could score. Kentavious Pope or whatever his name.
KCP, yeah.
He just was in a trade, right?
He was. The Magic traded him.
Yeah, nice player, and he was kind of one of those one-and-dones. Florida State expects to have a first-round pick. I think Watkins is his name.
How about that?
Yeah, I think Florida State expects they may have a pick tonight. But, yeah, it's a good time for Florida basketball. And I think
this guy Vern Fleming
shot
real
nice play
in the NBA. He shot 50% on his field goal attempts. He had a 12-year career. He shot 50%.
Really good player. Yeah,
that's a pretty quality number.
Yeah, he hung around. I think he and Dominique played a year, and Dominique takes off early to the NBA, and then Fleming, Terry Fair, Vern Fleming were some of the stars that led Georgia. Have you ever seen it's a really, really good 30 for 30 on Dominique and how he got to Georgia?
I have not. Did they pay him? They don't necessarily confirm or deny.
But man, Dominique was a star out of a little place, little tiny city in North Carolina. I think it was north of South Carolina, and he was all but going to one of the Carolina juggernauts.
So they paid.
11th hour.
Yeah, they paid. I got you.
11th hour. What happens to Florida basketball if Donovan never leaves? And you remember how that played out? He wins the 2 titles, and I can't remember if it was the next year or a year or 2 later. It might have been after he won the title. He takes the Magic job, and then 3 days later reneges.
Oh, I do kind of remember that.
Goes back to Gainesville for a couple of years, and they're successful. I mean, Donovan they won the 2 titles. They went to the Elite Eight like 4 years in a row. And hell, Patrick was on one of the teams. And then he took off and went to the NBA. What if he was a lifer? He had it going now, and he was young, and you could tell kind of college charismatic, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Huh.
They might have one more title.
Maybe.
Maybe not.
Hard to win. But he had it going now. I mean, they were beating Kentucky. They had passed Kentucky, obviously 2
They'd
titles.
probably have a couple more first rounders.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And, we'll be asking this question in 3 to 5 years about Todd Gold. He's destined for the NBA.
Yes.
I hope Florida can get 3 to 5 more years. 5 would be
a lot.
5, and you're throwing a parade, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you get 5 out of him.
That's a long time.
Gosh, 2 more years.
It's probably more realistic.
And I'm assuming they're not winning. I'm not saying they're winning titles, but they're going to be good for the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Right? They're going to be good. And anything short of at least winning 2 tournament games would surprise me. 2 more years on top of what he did last year, the pull will be so big, won't it?
Mm-hmm.
The NBA pool will be.
If he goofs around and goes to another one, let alone wins one.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. You mess around, go to the Final Four again.
Yeah.
Next year, and they could.
Brooklyn Nets will be like, we'll take you.
Absolutely. Did
the Knicks may take him now if they call right now.
Did the Knicks ever hire him?
I don't think so. I was just thinking that.
Anybody want the job?
They're calling Todd Golden right now.
So they've been eliminated for quite a while. The playoffs ended days ago. The draft is tonight, and the Knicks still don't have a coach.
Yeah, no coach. So who's making the pick?
Do you cut to a camera in the war room and there's
nobody there?
The big chair?
It's just empty.
Big chair's empty?
Spike Lee will make the pick.
Yeah, why not? Let's keep you here for a moment. I want to get to baseball. Hey, did you see what happened in the flamethrower game that's still going on? Today we have
Skeens and Mizorowski.
Mizorowski, the new kid.
Yep.
Skeens did not have a Skeens-like game.
How about that?
So the game's still going on. Milwaukee, the Brewers, lead in the bottom of the 8th inning. They lead the Pirates 4-2. And the story is the 2 flamethrowers, this young kid, third start, Mizorowski, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, flamethrowing guy. He had his last start, 29 pitches over 101 and or 100, a couple over 101, topped out at 102 his last start. So he's up against Skeens today, early first pitch, like 2:10. Skeens 4 complete, 4 hits, not terrible. He gave up 4 runs, and all 4 were earned.
Wow.
He walked 2. He struck out 4. Didn't give up a home run. Now, I went back and looked at the 4th inning. They got all the runs off of him in that 1 inning. Walked the first batter. Boy, there's a surprise in baseball. Mm-hmm. Walked the first batter, a single here, a ground ball to the pitcher that scored a run. I think the bases were loaded. He walked a guy, gave up 2 singles. Ground ball to the pitcher. I didn't see it. I'm assuming it took him to the side because you thought, home to first.
Right.
They get an out, but a guy scores, and then somebody did double in a couple. But it's not like he got rocked or anything. But his ERA now 2.12.
How will he survive?
The other guy, Mizorowski, he went 5 complete. Now this is only like his 3rd start in the bigs.
It is.
2 hits, no runs. Of course, no earned runs. He walked 2, struck out 8.
He's good, man.
In 74. I don't have any velocity yet on that, but that's kind of one of the fun stories that we wanted to track today, and that's early. Man, Skeens has pitched early afternoon. I know, gosh, because I kind of follow him. I bet you he's had that 2 o'clock, 2:10 first pitch start, home or road, 3 of his last 4. And I know if I was the teams, I'd want him at night.
Yeah.
For the crowd, but I guess I don't know. I guess people work so crazy now. If you want to go see a game, you're gonna go see a game.
Just go over. Why not?
Yeah. Why the heck not? We got a bunch more Major League Baseball news and notes. Full day. Just about everybody is playing. Brent Beaird about 5:30. Dr. Bates coming up about 5 o'clock. As we go to break, Casey, we'll get back into this, but I'm not so sure that Starke, Florida, might not be the absolute place to be. Starke, Florida, FL, period. Starke.
That place that they built a whole drive around?
Yeah.
Remember that whole city that they built a whole new route so
you don't want to
go
go through downtown. They built the drive.
So you're telling me that's the place to be?
That may be the new developing place because I'm just putting a little geography together here. Did you see last week this national study came out and said Jacksonville, Florida is the most boring city in the country?
I saw it.
Of the Big 50, they are the most boring.
Yeah.
Tough. I don't think we talked about it. We chuckled a little bit. Now, we did talk about that a little bit?
No, we did not.
I don't think we did. I remember it came out. But some big financial magazine commissioned a study, 50 biggest cities in the country, and they ranked them on this and that and the other thing, a lot of different things. Jacksonville, Florida, literally the most boring city. Now, to chase that, and here's where Starke comes in. Starke may be in the best spot of all because Starke is between Jax Vegas.
It is.
Sleepy, boring Jacksonville. Mm-hmm. It's also between Jacksonville and the most dangerous city in the country that came out just yesterday. This study. Arrest per 10,000 population.
No way.
Gainesville, Florida. Gainesville, Florida, danger. So aren't you getting the best of both worlds? So if it's dangerous, that means they got some stuff happening there.
That's fair.
Right?
I'll give you
stuff
that.
Going on, baby.
Wow.
Action. They got some action in G-ville.
Now that's crazy. I wonder how many of those are like college arrests.
I don't know, man.
I have to think a lot, right?
I don't know. But you got action when you got arrests, right? You got
action.
And then Jacksonville, if you want to slow down a little bit,
you just go up a little.
You go right to Starke, right? You got to make your moniker your city moniker somehow. You know,
meet us in the middle of boring and dangerous.
We're not just a speed trap anymore.
We're not just a speed trap anymore. Is a good one.
You drive that area much over the years?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lottie, Starke, Waldo.
Lottie, Starke, Waldo.
Those three names just sound like if you're a city slicker, they're going to get you for something.
Oh, yeah. Listen, I'll tell you right now, there's no scenario where I will go 0.1 miles per hour over the speed limit in Lottie.
Absolutely not. The silver bullet is out somewhere watching you. He is watching you. And let me tell you, the silver bullet, that's what they call that dude.
Oh, yeah.
Silver bullet handing out a speeding ticket, that's his Super Bowl.
That's his whole thing.
I mean, that's his Super Bowl. I mean,
wakes up in the morning, puts on clothes for that.
Oh, absolutely.
It's the whole thing.
He takes his one fake cap bullet and puts it in his chamber.
There you go.
But no, that's his Super Bowl. They don't have anything going on.
Nothing. Not a thing. They got one gas station and Dollar General.
Yeah, everything's happening in Gainesville.
That's true. If he wants action,
anything.
Start going down the
road.
road.
He just must look at those Gainesville cops and go, God.
I was so happy to be here.
Look at those guys. Man, how do they do it? They must take no-dos. I mean, they got caught. Their phone must never stop. They're what do they call it? CB?
CB.
Whatever. They still use those?
I don't think so. It's a police scanner, but yeah.
Scanner. Yeah.
CB, I think truckers still use it though.
I do too. I think they do.
I don't think that would go away.
No. I think they still do.
Oh yeah.
Those are fun to play on as a kid. Truckers didn't like it very much. Hey, what's going on out there?
Yeah, I'm sure they didn't like that.
No, they didn't.
They're trying to get a job done. You're screwing around.
Exactly. Trying to figure out if that bypass around Starke is passable.
Uh-huh.
And I'm, hey, watch your 1020 there, good buddy. Did you see Smoking the Bandit? You hauling Coors beer?
Oh man.
Wasn't that what they were hauling in Smoking the Bandit? I think it was.
I think so.
Because and we talked about this before. You could Coors beer, because the way it was pasteurized and had to be, Coors beer could not be delivered east of the Mississippi for years. Remember when you looked that up?
Did I?
Yeah, you could. I did, because I knew it as a kid. You could not get, Coors could not be shipped across, and there was a reason for it. There was a legal and or the way they packaged their beer and the way they sold it, they couldn't keep it cold or what have something.
Wow.
You couldn't get Coors here until about 20 years ago.
That's crazy.
East of the Mississippi
Wild
River.
stat.
Yeah.
Or I don't know
And
if
I
it's a
think
stat,
that's
but
what they were hauling in Bandit.
There you go.
They were bringing a contraband load of Coors beer.
There you go.
There you go. All right, let's take a break. We'll get back to some Major League Baseball. Brent Beaird comes up, Dr. Bates, and some cool this date in sports history. That and a whole lot more. Stay with us right here on the Young and Norvelle Show.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The schedules are out for another summer of soccer here in Jacksonville with the Armada men's and women's under-23 squads, starting with the ladies and the home opener on May 24th. 2 weeks later, they're back in Northeast Florida for a June 7th matchup. The season wraps up with a pair of Friday night home matches June 20th and the 27th. As for the boys in blue, they debut against a couple league newcomers on May 9th and 17th respectively, with more home dates on May 31st, June 14th, and June 21st. All those matches are at Edward Waters University, and you can watch them live on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Those teams are a big focus on Fleet and Footy, covering the big soccer stories each week on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
I'll put one in the back of the net for you.
Join us for player profiles, fun interviews, and the very latest on the Fleet and all things footy. That's every Thursday at 2 p.m.
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jax PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
This has been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jax PAL.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jax, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jax is always on. Now, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jax 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jax 24/7.
Overhead shot of hot Jacksonville. We are sitting on June 25th, final week of June. And Casey, I don't think, as we welcome you back to the Young and Norvelle Show, I don't think July and August are going to be any lighter. Do you?
Probably not.
No, probably.
Unfortunately,
Have we?
it's warm out there.
You think we? It is today, man. It's a smooth about 110 on the asphalt. I think. You think we've?
Yeah, I heard that actually. That exact temperature.
Is that what they said?
Yeah, 110 feels like.
Feels like 110. Have we? Scared because I know your answer, but have we topped out, or is it going to get hotter? You think?
I'm thinking hotter.
Yeah, great.
You could move.
Great. Here we go. Let me get back to a story we just had a moment ago. As a result of the film Smokey and the Bandit, which starred, of course, Burt Reynolds and Sally Fields.
Yep.
Field, actually, no S on that, in case you're wondering.
No S.
Coors has something of a reputation for historically being illegal in various parts of America. This being because the illegal transportation of Coors beer, otherwise known as Coors bootlegging, is a key plot point in the movie, and I'm trying to see the actual reason. And it wasn't just the movie. I mean, there's a reason, they spun that off. And you can find it as quick as I can. Why they couldn't distribute over here? It would be wrong to call Coors illegal within historic. However, Coors itself distributed their product east of Mississippi, or they didn't seek a permit or something. I don't know if they didn't. The way they wanted to cool their beer or something didn't work over the timing it would take to get it all the way over here, or maybe the trains weren't cool enough or what have you. Let me see here. Now everybody wants to know now, don't they?
Yeah, I typed it in, and it said, "This is why the Southern United States wouldn't distribute Coats." And I said, "What?"
Coats.
Apparently, I don't know how to spell Coors.
Coors. Coors.
Thanks.
Coors beer.
Appreciate that.
Okay, here we go. Coors didn't have any in the states east of the Mississippi River, though. Coors didn't have any presence. As such, this Coors exclusivity prompted smugglers to begin smuggling Coors beer across state lines into these specific regions where it was unavailable. This being as a direct response to the scarcity and unavailability within these regions. But it's not really telling me why.
So here's what's interesting. It says, and this could be wrong because it's the internet. But it says part of this plan was a marketing strategy because people wanted it where they couldn't get it, and then they would slowly expand into these states and made it super popular in these states when they expanded.
So,
but the main thing it says is distribution network issues.
Yeah,
and it was
that's
very costly.
And that's what you saw. And I remember looking this up before. Something to do with the way they brewed their beer and they publicized it and all. There were rules and regulations. You had to have the temperatures X, and I just don't think the cooling period, the cooling technology back then was what it is now. So to transport it, it would have been difficult to keep it legal. Does that make sense? Something like that. But yeah, you could not get Coors east of the Mississippi for the longest time. I think it said like 93 or something. Here we go. See if I got this. The reason that Coors was not sold east of the Mississippi is because of these states did not issue alcohol permits. Additionally, Coors often did not pursue them due to how 1970s Coors was an unpasteurized beer.
There we go.
There you have it. So yeah, it did have something to do with shipping and keeping it cool because of and I guess that makes it sound like the Food and Drug Administration might have been involved.
Yeah, it sounds a little serious more than.
And it does. Maybe Coors did not want to put an additive in it.
Good for them.
And they said, yeah, you have to keep it
Until
under 32. If you don't want to add the additive, well, we can't guarantee by the time it goes from Rocky Mountain, Colorado,
to Jacksonville,
to Jax Vegas, or actually Gainesville, it sounds like, where all that
point.
seedy,
not boring there.
All that seedy stuff is going on. How about that? Now you learn that. Couldn't get Coors.
Most dangerous in the United States, huh? The GNV.
Yeah, Gainesville, baby. Number one dangerous city in the country. That close to, and hard to believe, that close to the most boring city in the country, Jacksonville.
90 minutes.
I mean, that's like having crazy Uncle Fred that can't stay out of prison.
Yep.
And then sweet, lovable Uncle Joe.
Yeah. Meeting up at Starke
yes.
for the family reunion.
Somehow Stark's got to jump on that.
Do you think they'll hang a banner in the airport that says, "Welcome to Gainesville Regional Airport, the most dangerous city in America"?
And why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you?
We're number one.
You got
We're number one.
If you win something, you got to tell people about it.
Here's a bear.
I don't know about all that.
Have a bear on us. We're number one.
Well, it's not going to be Coors.
Yes. Have a bear on us. Oh, all right. Let's I got some good this date in sports history.
All right, what do you got?
A couple, 2 or 3 I think you'll like. This date, 1903. We take it way back. We run it back.
Mm-hmm.
We are running it back. Where is the cutoff line to run it back, you think? We're running it back. Is that 20 years? Is that?
Yeah.
I also want to know what's the cutoff line. That's old school. What's
20 years as well.
Yeah, 20? Let's call it 20.
Yeah.
20. All right, let's run it back a little bit past that. 1903.
100 years past that.
A little bit
okay.
behind that. 1903. Boston pitcher Willie Pyatt lost 2 complete games in the same day.
Holy cow.
And I think his arm fell off that night about 8 o'clock.
2 complete games in the same day.
I mean, at
9
least,
inning games, I assume?
yeah, and at least get to win one
Bro threw 18 innings and didn't get a win.
before your arm falls off at the shoulder socket. Right?
The original Paul Skeens.
Oh, my God, 2 complete games.
That's funny.
Boy, this guy was a really good player. This guy had a really cool name.
2 complete game guy?
No, this
Oh.
next we're gonna
Moving on.
run it back to 1968 Major League
It's
Baseball.
at least a little better.
Running it back to 1968. Really cool name. Really good player.
Oil Can Boy.
He was a good name.
That's not it.
First name?
The one I just said?
Uh-huh.
Oil Can Boyd.
First name, real first name.
Oh, I have no idea.
Dennis Oil Can.
Wow.
Boyd. Dennis.
That's a hell of a pull right there.
Yeah, yeah. This guy, cool name, not great player, really good player. Had flair. Got upstaged by a member of his family. But this date, 1968, Major League Baseball, Bobby Bonds.
Oh. Yeah.
Bobby, isn't that a cool name?
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's even better than his son, Barry. Barry's okay. Bobby Bonds just sounds
Bobby Bonds is good.
like he's helping 007 do stuff.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Bobby Bonds.
He's no Oil Can Boyd.
Really good player, though. The dad was. Really good player. His first ever Major League at-bat, Grand Slam.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Grand Slam. How about that?
That's pretty good. You can
And-
only go down from there, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem, though. That kind of ties into yesterday. Now, this wasn't the first game, but did you see, and this is a slugger from Tennessee. They won the national title in baseball 2 years ago. Really good team. And all those guys are coming up now. Chase Burns,
Yep,
the
Chase
pitcher,
Burns.
had a great night the other night. Christian Moore, one of the power hitters.
Mhm.
Yesterday,
The Homer?
he's for the Angels, right?
He is for the Angels, yes.
They beat the Yankees, I think it was. No, he's for the Reds. Is he with the Reds?
Who, Burns?
No.
Moore?
No, I'm sorry. Moore, I'm confusing you. Who's Moore with?
He is with the Angels.
Angels. Moore, he's only played in 10 games, just got called up.
Mhm.
He hits a solo to tie it in the 8th and a 2-run walk-off
Nice.
to walk it off in the 10th.
Good for Christian Moore.
10 games up. Not
Only
bad.
go down from there.
Yeah, only.
Chase Burns, though, did pitch yesterday against the Yankees.
Yeah, it had a great outing, right?
Struck out the first 7 hitters.
Yeah, and Reds
Reds.
got him
Yeah,
in
Reds.
extra. Reds got the Yankees in extra, right?
Oh, I don't know. I gave
Yeah.
up after Chase Burns
Yeah,
got pulled.
tough loss for the Yankees. That's part of my MLB. 2 more things. This, unless you've got just incredible pitching, I remember this as a kid when it happened. We're going to still run it back a little bit. 1976, Major League Baseball.
Okay.
Decent player, Toby Harrah, played shortstop for the Rangers most notably.
Okay.
Decent player, played a long time. How about this stat? Doubleheader, 1976, Major League Baseball, playing shortstop now.
Mhm.
Toby Harrah played every inning of 2 9-inning games. In doubleheader, never one chance.
Really?
In 2 games, no catch a fly ball, a ground ball throw to first, force a guy at second, tag a guy out. Nothing. Not
Wow.
one recorded
Playing shortstop.
chance. Not one chance in a doubleheader.
That's amazing.
Isn't that crazy?
It's an amazing
Unless
stat.
dude threw a couple pitchers through 2 hitters or something. But no, regular baseball games.
It was the same guy from 1903. It was when he
Yeah.
threw those 2 complete
yeah,
game
bastard.
hitters.
Bastard. But how does that shortstop?
That's wild. That's an unbelievable stat.
That
to be honest.
I remember that is a crazy. So my man, I don't know what he did at the plate,
Hopefully something.
but he didn't do diddly poo. Not one chance.
Stood out there for 18 innings. Like, what about me?
18 innings.
Where are they hitting the ball?
And this day in 76, you got to believe hotter than hell wherever he was at.
Yeah, hopefully he's inside.
Guys just out there. And final one here. This date sports history, 2021, a couple years ago. Aaron Nola
Heard of him.
still pitches for the Phillies, right?
He does.
Yeah.
He's hurt, but yeah.
Yeah, hurt. He tied a 51-year-old record. He struck out 10 batters in a row. Tom Seaver had that up until 51 years ago. 51 years ago, 10 in a row. 10 major league guys in a row.
It's quite a few.
I mean, and I don't think they were Rockies. I think they were major leaguers.
Wow. Yeah, that's right.
Rockies aren't gonna.
Poor Rockies.
Rockies aren't calling me anytime for throwing out the first pitch. You ever thrown out a first pitch? I haven't.
No.
Never have.
There was
right
back in the day, way back in the day, 2 years ago, at ESPN when we were the official
took it back?
station.
You ran it back 2 years ago?
Yeah, run it back to back then. That conversation came up, but I was like, I'd rather not.
Because
that only ends bad for you. If
it really
I throw
does.
It,
it really does.
6 miles over.
And I've got a theory. I've never done it. But I think most people are set up for failure when they go throw out the first pitch. The first reason, particularly if you were a former athlete, former baseball guy.
Yep.
Generally, you get called to the field. Escort guy walks you out to the mound or in front. You can do it on the mound or in front.
Yep.
They hand you the baseball. Your name is announced. Casey Kurtz. You wave to the crowd a little bit.
Yep.
Catcher's ready for you, and you throw it. But, Casey, I know you've played a lot of baseball.
I have.
I played a lot of baseball. How often, and it's almost it's a balance thing. And I'll tell you, I'll use an animal for example in a minute, but it's a balance thing. How often did you throw a baseball without wearing a glove on your other hand?
Not often.
Not very often. Well, you do that. It's awkward.
That's fair.
If you think about it right now, it's awkward to throw. You generally have a glove on, and the glove arm is part of the throw. You kind of right, and it balances. And I said I was going to come back to an animal. Do you know there are two major, not the only reasons. There are two major reasons that most animals, dogs, and tree-type animals, like squirrels and things like that.
Okay.
A lemur, that would climb in trees and stuff.
Gotcha.
But dogs in particular, and cats. Two major reasons, not the only two, that they have. What is the function of the tail for a dog, for example?
I guess balance.
Balance is one. And communication is two.
Okay.
If the tail's wagging, hey, he's happy.
Yeah.
If it's, hey, stay away from me.
Yeah.
But think about it. When a dog starts running or a cat goes up a tree, they use that tail as a kind of counterbalance. If they turn right, the tail goes left, right?
That makes sense.
Yeah. So when you throw a baseball out there in front of people, you probably should take a glove with you. You've thrown 8 million times with a glove on.
But then you're the grown man throwing out the first pitch with a glove.
Yeah, but you kind of play it off. I don't know. I'm going to autograph it and give it to the kid in the front row.
Who wants it?
I don't know. Well, two-hop it into the shin guard of the catcher and get booed off the field.
I mean, I guess if that's my other
It's up to
option,
you.
I'll take the glove.
It's all to you. Up to you. All right. I think we'll have Dr. Bates at the top of the hour. So let me get to some Major League Baseball stuff from yesterday. Wow. I happened to be watching Braves-Mets last night, four innings or so. And you talk about a tough loss for the Mets. I guess when you're in a bad way, they're 1-10 now, their last 11 or whatever.
It's been a bad run.
Yeah. Woo! So they're entertaining the Braves. Braves took the first game last night. So I'm watching it, and nothing much is going on, but all of a sudden, your boy Strider, he walks a couple. I think it was in the third or fourth. He walks a few, gives up a hit, stays in the game barely, and they get out of the third inning. It's 3-0. Strider and the Braves are trailing. It's 3-0, and Strider hasn't had a great game, right? Or season so far. He was walking the plank during that inning, right? A trip to the mound. I thought he was going to get yanked. Stays in. So he makes it to the fifth, and he's still leading. He's trailing 3-0. He makes it to the fifth. The Mets are the home team. Gets out of the bottom of the fifth, right? Because he's pitching. He gets out, but he's trailing 3-0. Gets pulled. Braves score 5 in the sixth, and he's still the pitcher of record.
How about that?
And guess what happens? He gets the W.
That's shocking.
You talk about spitting the hook out.
Yeah, good for him.
Right? And that's out, right? He's still the pitcher of record.
Yeah, for sure.
He came out 3-0, but the next pitcher hadn't gone in.
There you go.
And his team got a 5 spot.
How about that? You love to see it.
Yes, you do. Oh, my God. And I'm telling you, he was so close to getting yanked out of that game. We talked about the flamethrowers. That was fun today. Tough loss for the Yankees. We talked about that. And the Rays keep the pressure on.
Mm-hmm.
The Rays are back to 1 game behind the Yankees, who are scuffling. Thank God the Mets are scuffling, because that's the talk in New York.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because it would be the Yankees.
Yeah, I occasionally see a graphic pop up that shows Juan Soto's stats next to like somebody who's making $2 million. They're like,
yeah,
could have just done this. But,
yeah.
The Yankees are getting the most of that for sure.
Yeah, the Yankees lose 1. Rays win. They're 1 back. You and Cade and everybody tells me Tampa's they're not going to hang around.
I don't see it.
Long season, though, man.
Well, they won't go get better.
Yeah, won't do anything?
No.
Yeah, won't do anything. We told you about the Tennessee players. You know what? Baseball is just like everything else, I think. Give me the Jimmies and Joes. Look at the good college baseball teams the last 2 or 3 years. 2 years ago, your national title.
Oh, yeah.
Tennessee Volunteers.
Oh.
Chase Burns just got called up. I think Dollander or whatever his name is.
Dollander, yeah.
Dollander.
He's a Rocky.
He was one of their stars.
He was.
Christian Moore just got called up. I mean, great teams have great players. Look at 2 years ago, LSU. Skeens and Cruz. That same series, Florida was a line drive that got miraculously caught by LSU away from winning that probably. Lankford and Caglione.
There you go.
You know what? Jimmies and Joes win sports a lot of times.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Speaking of Caglione, under 200 again. The guy up and down, up and down, up and down. They've got to keep him doing it, right? You can't send him down unless he's got a tank for another 6 weeks, doesn't he?
It's a delicate balance.
It is, man. It is.
I always say this when this comes up.
It is.
They sent Mike Trout down. Mike Trout went down, came up, went down for a long time, and then came back up the next year and was very good. So, like, it
is a balance.
Yeah, you got to feel it out. It's tough, though.
The one thing saving Cags, he has hit the ball hard. I mean, he's not striking out. From day one, he's had a lot of atom balls. He's had a lot of hard-hit atom balls. Just now, I get it. Some people, you're covering for it, what have you. But he literally has hit the ball pretty well. Doesn't have a lot to show for it. Now, this is a couple days down the road. But looking a couple days down the road,
okay,
possibly Saturday, you could have Ohtani pitching to Caglione.
That'd be a good one.
Which would interest me. Now, the problem is, obviously, Dodgers are playing KC, and Ohtani is scheduled to be on the mound again on Saturday. So I went, wait a minute, that's pretty cool. Now, the problem is, if he only goes 1 inning,
might not see him.
Caglione he's been in that 6 hole.
Mm-hmm.
So, you got to get some action in the first inning if he only goes 1. If he goes 2, and he might go 2, they may be ready to start stretching him out. Don't you think another one?
I would believe
so.
so.
Yeah. But maybe I'm the only guy that cares, but it'd be fun to see.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
Be fun to see Ohtani and Cags. That could happen on Saturday. All right, let's take a break. Come back, see if we can regroup, and we should have Dr. Bates on. I think he's ready to go. We'll see, and we'll get his thoughts on Chris Sale, fractured rib cage, yuck, and Halliburton. We got to talk to Doc about that, Casey. That's going to be the talk now. Everybody gets a calf injury. Watch it. Calf turns into an Achilles. I don't know if we got medical.
Do you have to ask him about any of your fishing injuries? You still store?
No, I'm not. Not really.
Oh, good.
Not really.
You made a full recovery.
Yeah, full recovery.
Okay.
Well, it's I'm a highly tuned athlete.
Yes.
Athletes is the.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. We'll see. All right. Let's start wrapping up hour number 1. Come back with Dr. Bates. Hopefully in the second hour with our Southeast Orthopedic Specialist sports medicine discussion.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
Baker's Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University. Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School. Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker's Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Will Olive, Mandarin High School. Go Stangs.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oak Leaf High School. Tony Mazzio, Sandwood High School, class of 2002. Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Jacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Cole Tilley, Hilliard High School. Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
The rhythm of my heart is beating like a drum, with We Are Martyr rolling off our tongues. Never will we roam, for we know our place is down. Where the ocean meets the skies, we be sailing. Where the ocean meets the skies, we be sailing.
Waiting on Dr. Bates to join us. This is our time to talk some sports medicine with the good doctor from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Obviously, if you or somebody in your family, a friend, family member has an orthopedic need, you can you need to go to the best. Don't mess around. It's very, very serious. Can be very serious. Go to the best people that know how to and have been treating orthopedic injuries for a very long time at the highest level. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. While we're waiting, wanted to, Casey, look at the mock NBA draft. The draft first round is tonight, and I thought something was kind of jumped out at me. Certainly, we recall the SEC had a historic number of teams into March Madness, right? They had like 14 or their 16 or whatever it was. Huge number. Couple dropped off early, but the core made deep run. Obviously, 2 of the Final 4 were from the SEC. Looking at this draft, projected draft on ESPN, and I'll go through it again while we're waiting on Dr. Bates. My hypothesis would speak to, man, there is good coaching in the SEC. Not that there aren't good players, but Casey, I'm looking here, and do we have Dr. Bates?
No.
No, okay. Want to make sure. Other than the 2 newest teams, Oklahoma and Texas, and they count, but I mean, they just got in 1 year in the SEC. I don't see anybody in the top 10 projected from the core SEC. Flag, Duke number 1, Duke's player number 1. You look around, kid from Rutgers, number 2, projected. Guy from Baylor, number 3. Another Duke, Con Kneppel from Duke, is projected 4. And I know this is just projections. Jeremiah Fears, first-year player at Oklahoma, he played his way into it. So there's one SEC with an asterisk, sort of, at 5. The other Rutgers guy, Rutgers, god dang, how did Rutgers not win the title? Yeah. You can say the same for Duke. We get down 7, the big man from Duke, the 7-2 guy, actually listed at 7 3/4. So that's the 7th pick. You get down a little bit further. Texas, Trey Johnson, again, he's projected 8th. That's an SEC guy, sorta. Keep looking here, and I'm going to say this speaks to the coaching. A foreign kid at 9 from Germany, and 10, small forward, power forward from Arizona, Carter Bryant. Now, this isn't the end-all, be-all, but Illinois has a player projected coming out 11. South Carolina, Colin Murray Boyles, who's really kind of a undersized power forward guy. I used to ask Patrick, this guy looks like a poor man's Charles Barkley.
Ooh.
But I remember Patrick talking about, gosh, I don't know if this guy's got NBA talent. That's the first true SEC player, and no disrespect to Texas or Oklahoma. BYU has a kid projected at 13, another foreign player at 14. Maryland, Derek Queen, Florida got him, the center from Maryland, projected at 15. A lot of people have questions about him. You keep going. Cedric Coward, he's a guy, Washington State, was going to go to Duke. Florida considered him, but he kept his name in. Just not a center from Georgetown at 17. One of the 2 big men from Michigan, Asa Newell, 19, Georgia. So
Mike White and the boys.
Yeah, Mike White. It's just not littered. Now, it could go sideways, and this is not the end-all, be-all, but I bet it's pretty close. I'm just scanning. I'm at 22 now. Another foreign guy from France.
It's very
Walter Clayton, 23 on this mock.
There you go. It's very surprising, and I know you would agree, not to even sniff a Kentucky guy.
How about that?
That's unnormal.
24. Obviously, Clayton was 23 in this. 24, Illinois again. Michigan State at 25. A player from Colorado State, 26. St. Joseph's, 27. Stanford at 28. A player from Stanford. Creighton, their 7-footer. I saw him play in the tournament. Pretty nice player. 29. 30. Another kid from France. Second round. And I can get it quicker here now. A kid from Germany, 32, a North Carolina player, a Penn State player, another Duke guy, the 4th Duke player projected at 34. Damn, Duke.
That's what I'm saying.
Arkansas, Thero, who followed Calipari.
Yep.
So we'll give him kind of a half. There's another SEC guy. You know, Chaz Lanier by way of
that's right.
How about Chaz Lanier by way of UNF? Tennessee, one super senior. He's projected at 37, and he's all for a outside shot, right? I mean, that's all he's got.
Yeah, that's his game.
I mean, he's a park it and shoot.
He's a good dude. He was good for UNF.
Yeah, he really was. Here's that Florida State guy, Jameer Watkins. Obviously, Florida State had barely made a blip on the radar. Florida State senior. Jameer Watkins, and we can get back to this. Let's talk some sports medicine. But, I thought it was very interesting that as many teams as the SEC put in the March Madness tournament, they don't have a lot of guys projected.
That's a good point, Terry, on something.
There you go. Should host a show, I think. Should host a show. Or at least talk to a doctor. Dr. Aaron Bates joins us now. As always, appreciate your time, Doc. A lot of stuff to get into. I wanted to ask you a quick question, just to generally hit me a minute ago. You've been in your profession, orthopedic surgeon, for a long time. Do you, or does it come to your facility, medical device trials? I know at some point, things new have to be tried at some point, don't they? At some point, how does that work in your profession?
Well, generally we have, can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound great.
Okay. Generally we have representatives from different companies that work with us pretty closely during week to week with the things that we're putting in, folks, different implants and things like that. And so they'll let us know when things are are on the forefront of development, plus different conferences that we attend.
Sure.
There's a lot of that going on as well. There's a huge exhibit centers at the American Academy, Orthopedic Surgeons, and some other smaller conferences that introduce new products and things like that are being tested.
I would imagine, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but I would imagine a new device obviously has a maturation period and an acceptance period and a legal signed off on period, much like but you always hear the pharmaceuticals. I mean, those trials will take 20 years. They have to
with the FDA.
20 years and is a device more of a 5-year thing and it either makes it or not, or is it hard to say time wise?
I think mostly it's quicker than with pharmaceuticals.
Sure.
There is no true timeline.
Yeah.
But yeah, you would say 4 or 5 years most likely for most things that are coming about. But they still have to go through the FDA and get certain approvals and sign-offs to get it on the market.
I didn't mean to get off on this, but I will say this: I studied a little bit and got a couple friends that own things in the medical world, and I'm not. This is in no way, shape, or form burying the pharmaceutical world or lauding the pharmaceutical world, but knowing a little bit about how a drug, the lifespan, how a drug makes it to market and the time frame. A lot of people are gonna get mad at me for saying this, Doc, but and you get that patent, I guess, and by the time you've used up a lot of your years, and then you get to sell it unencumbered until that 20-year period hits. Well, it may have taken you hundreds of millions of dollars to mature that thing. So you're in the hole, and then you get to take it to market. You might have 8 of the 20 years left, and then after that, knockoffs can happen. So you know what I mean?
Correct. Yeah, when the patent runs out. When the patent expires. But typically, most of the time, these big companies are doing it. Every now and then, you'll have one guy work on something, and it become something of value. And then what happens is a bigger company will buy it from them.
We'll get it. Yeah.
And then that person, he or she, will make something out of that or make something from that. And then that'll be like a smaller company. Then even a bigger company will come in and buy it for even more.
Yeah.
Because they have the marketing power to put it out, to get it used more frequently.
Yeah, definitely. Doc, let's talk about the small Casey, I want you to get in on this as well. Casey, and Doc, you described the smaller level and then the bigger level company and then the bigger than that level. And then that reminded me of that shark trying to get that fish I caught over the weekend. Casey, what? Right?
I would give up.
Doc, have you seen the video?
I don't know.
Doc, would you like to see the video?
Well, sure, if you have it. Yeah.
You got 42 seconds, Doc?
Yes, I do.
And I want you to look at the form.
I love offshore fishing.
Yeah, I've never done it in my life until Saturday, and I want you to watch the form here, Doc, and then you're going to see look at the form, Doc. Look, impeccable form. Look at that. This thing's about 800 pounds, by the way. It's a sea monster.
Looks like it's about to pull you in, actually.
Watch, and you're going to see a shark trying to get what I had on the watch. See that shark right there? Right there. That's a shark trying to. That's one of those bigger companies trying to get the smaller company, right?
That's right.
And
that's right.
Doc, I was not deterred. Look, I had to yank him.
Well, we call that the tax collector out there. The sharks are the tax collectors.
Is that look there? Hey, my guy said, "Get him in the shark." I had to quit reeling, Doc. I just had to muscle that sucker in. I just threw him in.
Look at that. Looks like you caught a minnow.
It's a sea monster, is what that is. Look at that thing. You see the boat turning a little bit? I thought we were going to sink.
Right, very nice.
I thought we were going to capsize. How about that, Doc? Huh? So if you need if you need a first mate on your boat next time you go out, let me know. Let me know.
I'll certainly do that.
Let me know. What in the world is the recovery rehab for a fractured rib cage? Gosh darn, that sounds painful. Chris Sale, the pitcher for the Braves, and the the pitching motion, the torso turn, fractured rib cage sounds like. Can you immobilize that? What do you do with that?
Yeah, you can't immobilize. You cannot immobilize.
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate for the Braves because they've gone through a lot of pitching injuries and whatnot. But because the rib cage moves, it has to move because you have to breathe. As you inhale and exhale, your rib cage are moving, and so it's. And what tends to happen is you tend not to want to breathe deeply, and you can get issues with your alveoli kind of collapsing, something called atelectasis, which gives you fevers, or you can get a pneumonia and things like that if you don't breathe deep enough. And so it takes a long time to recover. So general teaching, it's 6 to 12 weeks. But you're talking about a high-level player, which they will respond a little quicker, but they're also doing high-level type of activities where you need the torque of your torso to work well to be effective. And so it's kind of a catch-22. There's really no general treatment. They can do some, surface stuff to try to calm it down, anti-inflammatories, things like that. But there's really, once it gets to a point where his pain is amenable, then he'll go back to doing some type of PT just for, to strengthen his trunk and strengthen the muscles around it.
What is the fleshy stuff between the ribs? I mean, is that muscle? Is that cartilage? What is it? I don't,
Well, between the ribs, you have intercostal muscles.
Muscles.
When you eat ribs, right? You're pretty much eating muscles of the cow or pig or whatever, and that's in between the rib bones.
And that's what's inflamed when you say anti-inflammatory.
Well, yeah, that can be inflamed. Also, there's costal cartilages. So as the bone of the rib comes to the end, it becomes a cartilage.
Yeah.
And there can be inflammation of that area as well. But all of that moves all the time, all day, all night. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. You're breathing. We hope, right? So that's all moving. And so, and as you know, it takes, when you can't immobilize a fracture, it takes longer to heal.
Yep. And man, you I don't know if you forget about your injury, but the fact that you don't have it immobilized, man, that thing bites you left and right, man. I know when I've had, back or something, and you just can't immobilize it, you kind of do forget about it, and you're in your easy chair and you finally get comfortable and you don't think too much and you need to readjust. Oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah, move just a tad. And
but if I had a big immobilized cast, I would know that I have to move it as a one, not a, and I tell you, man, speaking of, I can't really immobilize my arm. When I hurt that muscle, moving a table, most of the time when I do something like that, and I'm telling you, Doc, that arm muscle, it's finally back to almost 100%. It's been a good 4 months. Yeah, it just took and I did some ice for a couple of weeks and all, but when I seem to get hurt, a lot of times it's when I'm cheating. I know better. There was a bunch of tables, like I told you, I was going to slide an 8-foot onto another rack, and I've done it a million times, but I told you that. I should have turned and grabbed it. No, I just grabbed it with one hand, Yeah. But that was something that hurt for a long time. And, I wasn't going to immobilize my own arm, so gosh darn. You forget about it. And ooh.
Well, you're lucky you didn't hurt your back.
Yeah, definitely. But I'll tell you the other thing that gets me, I'll pull a muscle or something up high, the back of my neck or even the top of my back, and I guess a little muscle or something, it'll hurt. You know what gets me, Doc? Driving a car when you do something like that. You don't realize how much driving a car, you're whipping around, and it's like, oh, God, it just kills you.
Yeah, we don't realize how much we use a lot of our body all day.
Yeah.
Just simply, getting up, walking around, grabbing things out of the cupboard, all of that.
Sure.
And when you don't have the use of something because it hurts, it'll remind you.
It really will. It's funny you mentioned that, Doc, and I want to ask you about one more injury. But before we do, about moving in the body. Patrick has, through his foundation, they've got a big event coming up Sunday, at XL Gym on 3rd Street in Jacksonville Beach. And I wish Pat was here to explain it. He's told us about it on the show a bunch. It's basically his foundation is inviting everybody down. This is a kind of one of those open outdoor workout facilities down on 3rd Street in Jacksonville Beach. And the whole concept is come on down, 2 sessions, 9 o'clock and 11 on Sunday morning. And the group's going to put you through a workout. Just move your body. Is right. Number one, just move your freaking body. Because according to Pat, and you can probably jump on, I mean, you're still healthy and vibrant in the gym and play. I try to go to the gym. So many people just don't move their body. I don't mean walk into the car and back, but just move your body is the whole concept of this thing.
It's very important. Very important for longevity, actually.
Yeah.
And you don't realize just by moving your body and doing something on a daily basis or 5 days a week or something like that. I mean, you're strengthening more than you think, and you're keeping the muscles around certain joints conditioned for the long haul. And so you have more endurance and you can do more things as you get older. And as folks get older, the more they move, the more they can have a better quality of life.
Last injury I want to talk about, we saw it happen. It was painful to watch in the finals where Halliburton went down. He was already gimping around on a bad calf, blew out his Achilles. A very public injury like that, are you going to hear a lot of that when patients come in? And if you say anything about the calf, do you now think you're going to have a patient going, Doc, am I in trouble about my Achilles? Doc, what about my Achilles?
Well, certainly, yeah. I mean, people tend to, see these things publicly, and if they feel like they have the same injury, which a lot of times they don't, so they think they know a little bit more about their injury than they actually do. But yeah, they'll ask you about it, and so you have to. If they have a similar injury, we can talk about those things. But if their injury is not the same and they think it's the same, well, they have to know that too.
Yeah, and I guess part of that thinking and knowing are two different things. Mr. Patient or Mrs. Patient or Miss Patient, you're not exactly a 6'4.5", 220-pound, finely tuned athlete that was sprinting down a basketball court trying to get around a 6'8", So, calf, Achilles, yes, it's a calf, and yes, it's Achilles, but there's a lot of extenuating circumstances, right, that went around that.
Right. Yeah, there is. And I mean, even people that play like recreational sports, we call them weekend warriors.
Yeah.
They'll get injured. They'll get major injuries like that.
Yeah.
And it's going to be similar, but not every injury is going to be like what they see on TV and what they read on Google. So, and it's my job to kind of let them know, first of all, what the injury is, and second of all, how to treat that to try to make them better so they can get back out to do the things they want to do.
Tough question. I'll let this be the last one. Tough. I don't know if you've ever really documented this. The number of patients that come in to see you, initially come in to see Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, but maybe where you're at, come in to see you, that turn into a surgical patient versus I can get you better and get you where you need to go to get better, and we don't need surgery.
So it's different for all orthopedists. We are certainly surgeons, and so it's our job to figure out if someone who has an injury can be treated non-operatively initially versus having surgery. And so even though we're surgeons, doesn't mean that we can't treat something non-operatively, but we would know if something can be treated non-operatively versus surgically.
And that's where I'm going.
Based on our experience. And so about, the number of patients that I see is probably about 20%, 15 to 20% of those that I see in office on a daily basis on average need surgery.
Yeah.
And the other, majority don't. Now, again, that's practice dependent. There may be some that see 90% that don't need surgery.
And what was your number?
Or only see 50%.
What was your number again?
About 15-20%.
About 15 to 20 that probably need to be an operated.
That probably needs. Yeah, correct.
Interesting. Last. I always say last thing. Is there a in the calendar, January through December? Is there a busier time, or is it just happenstance? If that somebody, if they needed a procedure, man, if it happens in the fall, you can get in and out quicker. Or is it just so random all the way around the year? Or do
it
you
certainly
have
fluctuates. It's pretty slow. January, when deductibles have turned over and things like that. So you don't see as many folks that are willing to, even if it's elective, are willing to do procedures. Then we have them, but it's just not as much. Sometimes in the summer, like I'll have certain summers that aren't as busy either because people are just on vacation and don't want something done during the summer, and they'll wait until like late August, September. But then you also have football starting up too, and so you have the onslaught of a bunch of cases that need to get done because of that, and you have people that have waited over the summer and didn't want to have something done. So that's typically a busier time. Right before deductibles turn over in December, that's a busier time.
Gotcha.
So people are trying to get things done before their deductibles turn over again.
But
so that's kind of the way it fluctuates.
If you never knew, never knew what season it was, what the temperature was, could you tell by your waiting room this must be a good time of year because better weather, people outside doing stuff. Then could you tell by your office, this must be fall winter. People inside, not as active, not. Could you tell by your office?
Sometimes, depending on the list of what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
We see more of a certain kind of injury in a certain time of the year than another. Yeah, we can certainly see that.
Man, you got to.
But for the most part, it can be random because you just have some random things.
Yeah, and I guess we have the bumps and bruises will be starting in a few months, right?
Yeah,
clinics
starting August. Yeah, end of August.
Yeah, correct. Hard to believe. Next Friday is 4th of July.
I know. It came around quick, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely did. Doc, as always, I learn a lot. I hope the rest of people do. It's all fascinating what you guys do over at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Thanks so much. We'll do it next week.
Looking forward to it.
That's our buddy, Dr. Aaron Bates. You can go see him or any of the great professionals, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, the best in the business when it comes to orthopedic treatment, care, obviously orthopedic surgery, if that is what you need. Do not go to one of these on-the-corner emergency rooms or even a standard emergency room. You're going to sit there forever. You're going to waste time, waste days, and not get anywhere. Get to the no appointment necessary walk-in. They've got multiple locations. You can find out no appointment necessary if it's of that you really need to get it looked at quickly. Get online. Check them out, se-ortho.com, se-ortho.com. Get to one of the no appointment locations. That will speed the entire process up. You will be very happy you took my advice.
I had to show them the fishing
I
video.
guarantee. Yeah. You like that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. You could hear the impressed nature.
Could you?
Yeah.
That's what you heard?
I would imagine right now he's checking when he can get his boat out again, and he's. I hope, Doc. I think we're close enough now. We've gotten a friendship here about 3 years now.
Uh-huh.
I think he's comfortable asking me to be his first mate.
I would think so. I think if he wanted you as his first mate, he would absolutely be comfortable to ask. So technically, I agree with your statement.
Yes.
But the part of your statement that might be questionable is, are you talented enough?
Yes.
To work with the doc.
I know we're talking about a fishing show here on our network here.
Mhm.
You went ahead and threw my name out there, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
And
I even sent the video.
And I'm awfully busy, so I probably can't host it, but I can certainly guest.
Oh, you could call in or something?
I could guest, probably, yeah.
Okay.
When needed. And we could I could see us, like on a Saturday when our parking lot's empty, we could do some, casting, and I can show them stuff.
Some tutorials.
Yes, hands-on.
So you're going to cast lines right out there in the Action News Jacks parking lot.
Well, I figure we'll put a little baby pool out there and fill it up with a bunch of brim and stuff. Like sea monsters that I caught.
Yeah, now that was the best line, actually, maybe of the show ever.
Why?
Not the one you just said, but the one he said to you.
What did he say?
He said it looks like a minnow.
Oh, shut the heck up.
I started laughing so hard. If my mic would have been on, it would have.
Oh.
We would have peaked everywhere.
He didn't mean that.
It sounded like he meant it.
He didn't want me to get the big head. He was very impressed. Very impressed. All right, Brent Beaird's ready to go. Let's take a break, get back, load up with Brent. Some college sports news and notes. I'm going to go back to the former Boston College quarterback, Thomas Castellanos, current FSU quarterback. I think that's BS, his quote. Did you see that, Casey?
I did not.
The quote, well, it's we'll summarize it. We'll give you the summary of it. Supposedly made a quote and a quip at Alabama and how he can't wait to play. I'm calling BS on this thing. We'll talk about that on the other side with Brent Beaird on the final. He'll be with us the final half hour right here on a Wednesday edition of the Young and Norvelle Show.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The schedules are out for another summer of soccer here in Jacksonville with the Armada men's and women's under-23 squads, starting with the ladies and the home opener on May 24th. 2 weeks later, they're back in Northeast Florida for a June 7th matchup. The season wraps up with a pair of Friday night home matches June 20th and the 27th. As for the boys in blue, they debut against a couple league newcomers on May 9th and 17th respectively, with more home dates on May 31st, June 14th, and June 21st. All those matches are at Edward Waters University, and you can watch them live on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Those teams are a big focus on Fleet and Footy, covering the big soccer stories each week on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
I'll put one in the back of the net for you.
Join us for player profiles, fun interviews, and the very latest on the Fleet and all things footy. That's every Thursday at 2 p.m.
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jack's PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
It's been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jackspal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jack's Pal.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jacks, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jacks is always on. Now, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jacks 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jacks 24/7.
All right, we are back. We got about a half hour left. Plenty of time to get some great topics out here on a Wednesday edition of the Young and Norvelle Show. Hope to have Brent Beaird momentarily. Got some stuff to cover with him. While we're waiting, remember, and a reminder, if you've got a basketball player in your life looking to improve his or her game, the place to get to this summer is the Jacksonville Basketball Academy. Coach Jim Martin over at Providence runs this academy and has for years. Great learning, great teaching tool. All the fundamentals when it comes to playing basketball, obviously shooting, obviously passing, rebounding, positioning, footwork, things like that, understanding the game. There'll be many, many scrimmages, workouts. Your basketball player will get better in every aspect of basketball. Multiple weekly camps depending on the skill set, the age, grade school, third grade, all the way through high school. And your basketball player will be put in an area, a talent level that will work. They won't be overmatched or undermatched when they are at their camp, but you'll see great results. A lot of people have gone through these camps over the summer, over the years, and it greatly enhances their basketball playing skills, and that is a direct correlation to trying to make your basketball team. Let's say you're going out for the middle school team, or maybe you're making the jump from middle school to high school, and you want to go to that level. You don't want to start practicing the week before tryouts. The time is now to work on your game, and the place is the Jacksonville Basketball Academy. It's as simple as looking it up, Googling Jacksonville Basketball Academy. All the information will be right there. You'll be glad you did. Your basketball player in your life will be glad that you did as well. Okay, I want to get to some college sports news and notes. I want to get back, and Brent Beaird will speak to this when we get Brent on. I want to get back to, I'm not so sure, because of the internet nowadays, so much stuff is just bogus and made up. Supposedly, Casey, I don't know if you saw this, the transfer quarterback from Boston College, Thomas Castellanos, he'll be starting for Florida State. They play Alabama. There was a quote, and I've got some of it, but I don't have all of it. Supposedly, Castellanos talking about the upcoming season opener in late August, his FSU team against Alabama. Here's the quote, part of it. "They don't have Nick Saban to save them. I just don't see them stopping me," end quote. And there's another part of the quote that says something to the effect of Castellanos saying, well, you know, I dominated the Big East, and I don't see them stop. And here's Brent Beaird. Brent, I was leading off with, and I guess it hit the news last week. Welcome, my friend. Glad to have you.
Hey, buddy.
I'm not so sure I buy this Thomas Castellanos quote, derogatory talk toward Alabama. Brent, the reason I bring this up, I've seen bogus quotes on this internet the last couple of years so much. There's so many weird people. I'm not so sure. Do you totally buy that he said all that?
Yeah, good question. Normally I don't, but I think this time I know on 3 interviewed him.
Right.
And now the rest of the quote, if I'm glad you brought that up. If people haven't heard it, is also worth. I feel like I tore the ACC up by my blank self for the last 2 years, and now I'm with the squad. I hope people don't think Florida State's going to be the same team it was last year, because we have weapons. People can't just sit back in zone coverage and watch me.
That's, that second part of that quote, and particularly that first sentence or two, that's the thing I say, that's BS. Because he got benched last year.
He did.
And everybody knew he got. When I read that part, I went, wait a minute, this is one of those BS quotes, I think, or at least that part. Read that first part again about dominating the ACC. That was all ridiculous.
Yeah, it was. I feel like I tore the ACC up by my blank self for the last 2 years.
He literally got benched.
Yeah, he did. And now I'm with the squad. I hope people don't think that Florida State's going to be the same it was last year because we have weapons. People can't just sit back in zone coverage and watch me. Look, he went, and I get this, he went toe-to-toe with Bill O'Brien.
Yes.
Who is at BC now.
Yep.
And look, Terry, you and I both know Bill O'Brien, if you're cocky at all, Bill doesn't take that too well. So I'm guessing the two of them didn't exactly see eye to eye. But I can tell you this, and to your point, if you got your butt benched last year, I think I keep my mouth shut, don't you?
Yeah. And Bill O'Brien, the type of quarterback that Thomas Castellanos plays is probably not in Bill O'Brien's wheelhouse, and he inherited him, right? He inherited Castellanos, so yeah, you could see it. It wouldn't surprise me if you track that quote back and Caleb DeBoer created it just to create something. I'm kidding there. I'm kidding.
Yeah. Well, I tell you the interesting thing too about Boston College. Dylan Lonergan, the former Alabama quarterback, is probably going to be the starter this year.
How about that? Boy, Alabama's got guys scattered around the country that left their program.
and listen, the best one they've got may be at Ohio State, and this Julian Sane.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying he's going to get the job, but I think eventually he very well might. But look, Alabama, Terry's, you and I have been talking about this for months. When you've got these, you've got a quarterback room that's got about 5 guys in it.
Yeah.
It's obvious every one of these guys that they're not hanging around, are they?
No. It was amazing to see the stack of quarterbacks that Kirby started stacking 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and he kept them. He kept a couple of them around at least until one cream rose to the top, and then it's tough to do. Hey Brent, catch me up. I'm probably a week or so away from buying my one magazine, college football magazine. Which one did we say is I can't afford Phil Steele's, and it's hard. Yeah. The other one you said that's the full size. One of them got knocked down. I want to buy the full size. Is it Lindy's I want to buy?
Yeah, you got two of them. You got the two of them in Lindy's. One is the national edition,
right,
and one's the SEC edition. Their SEC edition's legendary.
Yeah.
Athlon's out now, and look here. This is Mr. Steele. Hey Terry.
Look at the thickness of that. Ooh.
Terry, Phil Steele, $21.
Yeah, Phil, thank you, buddy. Can't do it. That's the price of a hamburger these days.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And listen, let me tell you real quick. Phil Steele, number 1's Penn State. I'm going, what?
Yeah.
Clemson 2, Notre Dame 3, Texas 4, Ohio State is 5.
Okay.
Georgia 6, Alabama 7, Oregon 8, Oklahoma 9, and Michigan 10. What sticks out to you? The thing.
I'll tell you. Did I hear LSU in there?
Yeah. Let's see. No. Well, let me see where LSU is.
Wow.
LSU's 11.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Terry, the Gators are 17.
17. Man, I'm glad you went to that list because I've got 2 matchups. The big 2 early season matchups, and this is why I drop to the ground and give praise that we at least have a 12-team playoff, and it's going to go to 16 because what a shame if it was the old way, and it was very hard to get in if you lost a game the old way. You could get in, but maybe. How about Clemson, LSU? Both of those, whoever loses can still save their season.
Yes.
How about Texas, Ohio State? Thank God the loser that game. Both of those losers will at least have mulligans, right? Now they got to go win.
Sure they will. Now, and see, the important thing about that is if the committee this time values strength of schedule, that's only a blip on the radar.
That's a half a loss. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Hey, listen, I've got to mention this to you from Phil Steele.
Okay.
Now, I'm glad you're sitting down here. This is Phil Steele. Other teams not ranked in the top 25. Okay, Florida State's 31.
Okay.
These next three I want you to get. 44 is Tennessee.
Wow.
45 is South Carolina.
Really?
56 is Auburn.
56. Man, I see South Carolina getting a lot more love than that across the country. Do you?
Yeah, by far.
You and I have talked. I do think Tennessee takes a step back. I think they may. Yes. I think they may be a 4-loss team this year.
Yes.
Auburn, if they finish anywhere near 56, I might be playing too much golf, Hugh Freeze. Hey, the word is he's been on the golf course a lot this summer, and some Auburn fans are going, how about getting on the recruiting trail? You know?
I talked to some Alabama media about that today. What I was told is, well, they are not happy with their recruiting.
Yeah.
They are not happy with the decommits that they've had.
Yeah.
And there is, a little bit of, Hugh just appears to be detached. Now, I give him, I know he's battling this cancer thing, and I get all that.
Yeah.
But I mean, you saw it like I did, and there's a lot we don't know about this. But
yeah.
the accusations of you playing golf 10 out of 20 days.
I know.
I mean, you got to have some time off. I get all that.
Yeah.
But if, and I know if fans want to hold something against you, they'll find something. And I guess this time of year you can't be studying film 12 hours a day.
Yeah, and the golf thing too is what gets you too.
Yes.
The head ball coach in his day was a notorious golfer.
Yeah.
But at Florida, his 12 years, he lost 12 total games and four at home ever. So if you go play golf, if you put the wins behind it, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, well,
hey, Brent, this Pac-12, they cut a little TV deal. Is that anything big, or is that we can throw a couple small million at this and it'll give us some extra inventory.
I think they wanted just to get a network behind them, and the network is CBS. Supposed to begin this year.
Mm-hmm.
Now the Pac-12 has got. They tried to get Texas State. They wanted to. I think there was some interest in Memphis. Memphis didn't have any.
Yeah.
In there. I mean, they've got a few decent teams.
Yeah, Boise State, I think, and a couple other ones jumped in.
Yeah, just to get, just to be able to. Well, the thing they were trying to do is you've got to have a certain amount of teams.
Yes,
and I believe it's 8.
8, yes.
In order to be a conference. So that's the thing that that they needed to do, but they're a long way away and probably never will be a conference, a great conference.
Yeah, they went out and of the teams they could pick from, they didn't do a bad job, but it's certainly a lower level. Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, San Diego State.
Yes.
I think they might have added Utah State. So, I mean, it's there are worse Division I conferences, but I would imagine the Pac-12, they would have taken just about any TV deal that came around.
Sure. Oh yeah. And I mean, CBS is now. Look, you and I both know this is probably not going to be the main CBS.
Oh no, CBS. Sports Network or whatever.
Yeah. And frankly, they do a pretty good job.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got some. That's one Newhousel's on.
Yeah.
And they do a nice job with their show from New York, but yeah, that it will. Yeah, I mean, it might, but it won't be on the main CBS. No,
I wouldn't be surprised if. I wish I'd had this idea earlier. Right here on our Action Sports Jacks streaming network, we could have probably made a bid for that Pac-12, right?
Yeah.
We probably could have gotten the second or third round of bidding probably on that.
And listen, I've got to ask you, since you worked with him, did you make anything at all out of this Spurrier comment about Arch Manning?
I thought it was classic Coach Spurrier.
It was.
Absolutely classic. And he's got that sense of humor, but a lot of times if you back away from Coach Spurrier's comments when you're stunned at the beginning and you back off, for people that don't know, and paraphrasing, you can help me, Brent, Coach Spurrier talking about Arch Manning at Texas and how he's the starting quarterback and he's a high Heisman candidate going into this year. Coach Spurrier basically said, well, wait a minute. If he's all that, why wasn't he starting last year? Because the guy, Quinn Ewers, he went in the 7th round of the NFL draft. So why wasn't was that was basically what he said, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. I'm a little surprised there wasn't a Phil Fulmer dig in there somewhere, but but yeah, that and look, he may have grinned a little bit with that, but
I mean, you look at a guy. Let me interrupt you a little bit, and this is a different position. But you look at a guy last year that had, at his position, he had all the Arch Manning hype at different positions. Yes. Jeremiah Smith, Smith at Ohio State?
Yes.
Well, he comes in as this can't-miss receiver, and guess what he did? He started from day one, and he was a can't-miss receiver.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think Coach Spurrier's going, well, what the hell? If this guy, Arch Manning, if he's already going to win the Heisman and be the greatest quarterback ever, why the hell didn't he play over this other guy that went in the 7th round?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree with that. Yes. Yeah.
I love it.
By the way, Terry, 24/7's got an article on can't miss transfer guys.
What do you got?
Florida's, I'm curious about this. Florida's that they think is the wide receiver, J. Michael Sturdivant.
Yeah, Sturdivant. His name. I'm like you. I'm putting my nose everywhere I can now. Summertime, college football around the corner. About to buy my book. I'm hearing more and more on him. People are starting to go, don't sleep on this Sturdivant cat from UCLA who's at Florida now.
Yeah,
big, tall, long, fast guy. They say.
Oh yeah, obviously the 2 Wilson kids have gotten a lot of pub, and Bond in the running backs. Frankly, with 4 guys come back on the offensive line, I can see why there's some excitement about this Florida offense, without a doubt.
I can too, and my eyeballs are going to be fixed on the coach.
Yeah,
the coach. I think, I think he's the big question mark. I think we gave a little bit of Florida State love, but I think we need to go back. Boy, did FSU football need a good couple of weeks of good news, and they've gotten some on the recruiting trail. Mike Norvelle, I don't know if it was planned like this, save some commitments publicly, but FSU's had a nice little 2-week run, and they need it. They need all the positive publicity they can get.
Yeah, they got Xavier Tiller, who's a tight end. It says they got him over Alabama and Auburn, 6'4", 212. And then they got another guy, another wide receiver or a receiver, Devin Carter, who came from Auburn, by the way. Now look, his father's Dexter Carter.
Yep.
Who is running back at FSU under Coach Bowden. So you got a legacy pick there.
Yeah.
All in all. And now the one that got a lot of attention was Miami flipped Van Spafford from California from Georgia to Miami. And that got a lot of attention. I mean, it's not like Georgia's struggling recruiting.
No.
But they did. Now look, let's follow this out logically a little bit. We're reading about all these official visits and all these commitments and so forth. Now, logically here, Terry, would it be the end of the world if we had August 1, July 1, National Signing Day, since these guys have made their visits and they probably know where they're going?
Makes plenty of sense. I think makes plenty of sense. And frankly, I think that would be a cost saver too.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get them signed up, and I think that makes plenty of sense. And Yeah, there's going to be a nice change, I think, mostly to the college football calendar for the good. I think we're going to see several changes for the good.
And Terry and I are waiting on this. We got 3 big ones. What's going to happen? What's going to happen with the portal?
Yep.
We're going to have 1 or 2. The signing days going to change to the summer.
Yeah.
And then we're waiting on the OTA situation, obviously. But again, I mean, the July 1 next Tuesday is when this money's dropping.
Yeah.
So that there's going to have to be a lot of stuff that there's and it hadn't happened yet. But I think by the end of this week, next week, we're going to have more to talk about than we've got time.
You would think, and I'm hoping stuff's already done, and they're just holding the PR, the PR part of it. Brent, we got 5 more minutes to hit a couple of different topics. Should be a good night tonight for Gator basketball. I think Florida and Casey and I talked about it. Obviously, I think Walter Clayton's going to be, by the way, one of only a few SEC first-round picks. A lot of the SEC, obviously. I think tonight's going to show off how good the coaching is in the SEC.
Yeah.
Because there's only a handful of first-round picks, and a couple of them are from Oklahoma and Texas, who just joined the conference. I think Florida's going to get some good love, though. When they get around 15, I think Walter Clayton's name's going to pop up. I think he's going to get drafted in the 20s. I think when Florida and Clayton get their time on screen, there's going to be a lot of rehashing of the national championship. And I also think you may hear Alex Condon's name mentioned about next year.
Yes.
And Casey looked it up. I think Florida's only had one historic period where they've had an NBA first-rounder back-to-back years, and I think it's going to happen. I think it's a good period for some PR for Florida tonight.
Well, it really does. It says a lot about Golden, too. And see, the other thing going on here, though, for what you and I do every day is and I've seen those on Twitter several times, that it's more advantageous now, Terry, for these guys to go back to school and to make more money that they would make in the G League or wherever you want to send them at that point, and that it is frankly a bigger deal for them to go back than it is for them to go to the NBA right now.
Yeah. And I would think the comforts around the G League, travel, things like that, I would think the comforts are probably better at a major Power 4 school.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of times you're on a charter.
Yeah.
You're staying in pretty nice hotels, and I would imagine the G League is not. You're staying in an average hotel in Des Moines, Iowa, somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's why a lot of these guys have come back, which is really, frankly, great to see along that way too. Did you see where now I'm going to go back and look at this again? Basketball going to quarters. I saw where that was turned down, and I'm trying.
I did not see that. I did not see it.
But see, what I'm not sure is, was that turned down for now? All the high schools have that, though, right?
Yeah. From what I understand, men's men's college basketball is basically the only bastion of basketball that plays halves anymore. Women's college basketball went to it about 8-9 years ago.
Yeah, and that's a boom for them. But look, I still wish they'd go to quarters. I think it would help a lot of things. But they may not be ready to do it yet. We'll see. But I did see that over the last few days.
I did not see that. I'll have to look that up.
To where at least now it may have been a lower division. I don't want to talk out of turn here. That they turned it down. But and there's still a lot about the NCAA tournament expanding. And what I understand is that, have you heard the same thing?
Yeah, I just read something last night. Yeah.
It might happen in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, they're going to bump it up to 72 teams, I think, now, and Lord knows why. Why.
Well, I mean, obviously it's money.
Money, yeah.
But look, I mean, and what they're going to do with this, people say, how this is going to work? Well, they're just going to have, 2 or 3 more play-in games is all this is going to mean.
They're just adding trash games that, well, I guess you can make the decision if you want to watch or not.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, at that point, it'll be the tournament. So people watch, and there may be, and then there may be several teams on the verge of getting in or not. But yeah, I think that's going to happen sooner than later.
Yeah, I think so. Brent, we've run out of time. I had a couple other things. We'll shelve it. A little bit of Gator Nation was talking. We only have 1 minute left. I heard Gator Nation. They were talking some basketball because of the draft in Clayton. How will Gator Nation welcome Denzel Aberdeen back when he comes to Kentucky? And we only have a few seconds. I know we're a long way away. If I'm Florida, when Kentucky comes into Gainesville, I contact Kentucky, I contact Aberdeen, and I ask him to say, hey, if your parents are going to be, we'll hand you your ring underneath.
Absolutely.
If I'm Florida, I would even say, not in Kentucky clothes, but if you and your family want to take a picture with the trophy, let's do that. I would do something, stand up for him. He deserves the ring, and he'll get one.
He does. A tremendous player too.
Yeah, I'm with you.
No, I think that'd be a tremendous gesture.
Brent, excellent stuff. I appreciate it. We'll dig into some of this other stuff we didn't have time. Have a good rest of your Wednesday, and let's try to visit again on Friday.
Good. Okay, brother. Take care.
That's our main man, Brent Beaird, and that will just about put a wrap on our Wednesday show. We really appreciate it. Of course, Casey Kurtz producing, Dr. Bates jumping on, and Brent Beaird doing what Brent Beaird does. That'll do it. We'll get back together tomorrow live from Sliders, 4 to 6 for the next edition of the Young and Norvelle Show on Action Sports Jacks.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
Baker Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University. Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School.
Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Will Olive, Mandarin High School. Go Stangs.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oak Leaf High School. Tony Mazzio, Sandwood High School, class of 2002. Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Jacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Cole Tilley, Hilliard High School. Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, Play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
The rhythm of my heart is beating like a drum. With We Armada rolling off our tongues. Never will we roam, for we know our place is down. Where the ocean meets the skies, we be sailing. Where the ocean meets the skies, we be sailing.